Okay, guys, quiet. Michael, sit down.
Can we specify that so they have to
Michael Spencer, sit down. Ryan Roth, you too.
I was picking up something I dropped.
Okay. Quiet, Ryan.
Sorry.
Alright, so I'm making this slightly easier for this section because it would be too much, I think, with the time we have left to try to do like the angle stuff, so it's all on level ground. Should make your lives easier. So nothing on a ramp, nothing being pulled at an angle. Okay, so the first equation that's always true for these is just the total force equals mass times acceleration. Sound familiar? F equals ma, hoping you learned that by now.
I remember that. Oh, it does? Oh.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael.
Alright, force of friction is mu times Fn. Anybody remember what Fn is?
Normal.
Normal force. And on flat surfaces, as long as it's not being like pulled up at all, which we're not going to be dealing with here. As long as it's on a flat surface and not being pulled up, which is going to be our case here, Fn is equal to mg. Does that make sense, everybody? You gonna do your shout out now, Abby?
Oh, hi, Grace. Hi, Grace.
That was lame. Michael, sit down.
Do it again. Shout out to my main room, Grace.
Okay.
Back to class, everyone.
Quiet, guys. Alright. A 22 Newton force is applied to a 2 kilogram box. If coefficient of friction is 0.18, what is the acceleration of the box? So this is kind of the most basic example. So we have a box. Alright. So our box is 2 kilograms. What's the force being applied in the box to push it? 22 newtons. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And mu is equal to 0.18. Everybody remember what the values mu can actually be? Has to be between,
Less than 1.
has to be less than 1. Alright. So that's the situation we have. What force is going to be pushing against it here? Force of friction. So we're going to have force of friction pushing back that way. Alright, so our total force, okay, remember how I did this? Total force is going to be equal to what two things?
In this case it would be...
Force of friction.
Something minus force of friction. What's going opposite?
Force, or the force of pushing.
FP, or 22 newtons in this case. The force it's pushing with. So Ft equals the force is pushed with minus force of friction. Does everybody understand that? Okay, so we kind of break these down. Ft equals ma. What's our pushing force?
22.
22 newtons. And minus, what's force of friction?
Natural friction times the coefficient of friction. Say natural.
Normal force times coefficient of friction, mu.
Natural friction.
Okay. So I'm going to keep this as ma for now. Ma equals 22 newtons minus mu. What does Fn equal, since it's on a flat surface here? Mg. Alright, so now I plug in our numbers, we get 22, or not 22, 2 kilograms. Do we know A? Nope, so we're looking for A equals 22 minus mu 0.18 times 2 kilograms times, do we use positive or negative G here? Do you guys remember?
Positive.
We use positive, so otherwise we just had negative signs that always cancel out. 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay. So we do that math. What do we get for our acceleration?
9.24 meters per second.
I have the answers here. 9.24 meters per second squared.
She did it for honors, so that's so hard.
Okay. Alright. Questions about that? Are you jealous?
Yes, Mr. Penda.
I'm
I
so
still want to
excited.
take it.
I thought I was doing it.
Wait, we still have a group quiz, right? So it can boost you?
Her face when I told her.
Shut up.
It's not gonna help, so you want
Then
to.
we still.
Alright.
He made sure he failed me, so I
I know.
had to.
I'll be hanging out for when you're studying.
Actually, Michael, I might give you enough extra credit to put you at like a 91.4.
Did you really? That raised my grade.
I think 10% of the weight.
Alright,
Probably would.
can I erase this? Alright, you guys remember how to do these?
Yeah, I remember these though.
Alright, let's do the next one here. At least, and then we'll see how you guys feel. Okay. Find the acceleration of the two blocks if the coefficient of friction is 0.41. So we have M1. What's the mass of M1?
13 kilograms.
13, good shit.
And what's the mass of M2?
15 kilograms.
Alright. And what's mu? Alright. So we're going to start with the same equation. Our total force is equal to something. What force is going to be, if the blocks are moving, are they going to be moving right or left? Right. What's pulling them to the right?
The heavy.
The heavy block. What force from that heavy block? Gravity. So we're going to say F sub g for block 2. You guys remember this?
Aww.
What's going to be keeping them from going that way?
The friction from M1.
The friction from M1. So minus force of friction for block 1.
Is that it?
Alright, so that's our overall equation. Those are the only two forces acting here. We got friction on this one and gravity acting on this one. So Ft equals Ma equals, I'm going to say, M2 mg minus mu, and right, it's on a flat surface again here, so it's going to be mu times M1 times g. Any questions on what I did in that step? What mass goes here?
Total.
The total mass. Since we're looking at the total force, we got to use the mass of everything in that step. So it's 13 plus 15. 28 kilograms. Acceleration is what we're looking for. So we do M2 is 15 times 9.8 minus 0.41. Anybody remember what the units for coefficient of friction are?
There are none.
Trick question.
That's like one.
Smart.
Kyle, you are so sarcastic.
I thought you were being serious. We're cool. Let's get out of here.
None of you guys are cool.
Why are you pointing at me?
That's not Jay. That's me.
You know,
Except for me, right?
you know, I think all of you guys are cool.
Except for me, right?
Alright, so what's the answer you get for this?
3.38.
Yep.
What's the game?
You guys are too dumb.
I got that game. Just one more.
Alright. Questions on this one? You're sick? Mentally? Physically? Everything?
Can't say that.
sick of being right now.
Just asking.
Government and science.
You might feel like
You just smack shit.
Okay, you guys want to do one of the, actually let's,
Let's do all of them.
I agree.
well,
I think I need the extra help.
why don't we do the hardest one next?
Alright.
So let's do number 6.
Oh boy.
I remember when you tricked us and put this on the quiz.
You guys did not like this one.
Never remember.
Brian, you struggling over there?
I've never remember.
I gotta watch this.
Yes.
Can we do all these together? This section is like the hardest.
No. No.
We can do all of them together if you want. Let's see how you guys do on this one. This is the hardest one on here. So if you guys understand this one and feel okay about this one, you can probably do some of the other ones. Alright, so we got mu equals 0.34. What's mass of this block? M1.
4.4.
4.4 kilograms. What's mass of this block?
Question mark.
We don't know.
9.3.
9.3. Right.
I'm gonna call this is M1, M2.
M2D2.
Okay. If these two blocks are moving, which way are they going to be moving?
To the right.
To the right. So we're going to say Ft equals what force is pulling them to the right?
FGM3.
Fgn3. So the force of gravity on block 3 is a 9.3 kilogram block. What two forces are going to be holding it back?
Friction and FGF2.
Yep. So we got force of friction on 2 minus Fg on 1. Questions on that? Sarah?
What happens with the ones where you didn't know which way it was going?
If the only ones you didn't know which way it was going is if it was on a ramp, like this. So if like this was on a ramp, and I'm not going to put that on these because that's too much for like the 2 days we have left. We really only have 2 class periods left. We only have 2.
No, we have Monday and Tuesday also.
Your exams on Tuesday, so you'll be here.
Yeah.
We only have 2 classes.
Yeah, we only have 2 actual class periods. Alright,
I feel like I could get fired.
so we have a new marker. Oh, look how well this worked out. This is my last new marker. It's the end of the year.
That's cool.
Alright, so we got MA equals M3G minus mu, which M? 2 times G minus
Do you have any G?
M1G.
M1G. Okay, what goes in for mass here? This is what messed you guys up.
7.
Plus
1 plus
M2.
M2.
Alright, so 9.3 plus 4.7 is 13.
13.7.
4.4 is 13.7. So you end up with 13.7 plus M2 times A. Does it tell us what A is?
Yeah, 2.15 meters.
2.15 meters per second. Times 2.15 meters per second squared. What's M3? 9.3 kilograms times 9.8 meters per second squared minus mu is 0.34 times M2, if you don't know, times 9.8 meters per second squared minus M1, which is 4.4 times 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay, I'm going to do this math with you guys because we're already messed up on these problems. What's 13.7 times 2.15? 29.45
Or 46, whatever.
46 plus 2.15 M2. That equals, what's 9.3 times 9.8? 91.14. Minus what's 0.34 times 9.8?
Which one? 3.332. 3.
3.33 times M2. Minus what's 4.4 times 9.8?
43.12.
43.12. Okay. So we're going to bring this over to this side. So add 3.3 M2 to each side. It was 3.3 plus 2.15.
4.8. Well, why would there be a 7? There's only 2 doesn't exist. I don't know this.
Now we subtract 29.46 and 43.12 from 91.14. And what does that equal?
Oh,
48.
40.02.
48.02.
That's not
That's not it.
possible.
Yeah.
Minus 29 something.
Oh. Well, let's just do it all in one step.
Wait, which one were you doing? Oh, you're doing the whole thing.
Whole thing.
It's then 18.5.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I kept more
I did
decimal
this.
places, but I had 565.
Say 57.
Yeah.
18.57. And what does M2 equal?
3.39.
Yay.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't too bad.
You guys want to do another one? Abby?
3.
Are we only gonna have problems on the exam that are gonna be like,
They're going to be very similar to the ones we've been doing as review.
okay, so we like go over just these?
You should be pretty. If you got to understand them though, because you're not going to be exactly the same.
Okay.
Washington magnet.
You're not gonna throw a trick in there, are you? You always
It's
throw
gonna be
a trick.
magnet.
No.
There'll be something that's kind of tricky, but nothing. Most of it'll be straightforward.
Does
Hell.
it matter?
Are you taking
Don't
it
act
off?
like you're acting. Like that, and you'll get 100.
Can I erase this one?
Why will it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking this test.
Okay. I just want to spend more time with Mr. Tin.
I want to spend more time with you, Michael. I actually got like 100 this year. I just kept thinking your grade because I wanted to have you for exams.
That's what I thought. I thought there was a conspiracy.
Avoid getting
Whoa! Did you hear that? That was very
You have a ball in your hand.
So what number are we doing?
You guys can pick. What do you guys want to do?
What's the next hardest one?
Number 5. But 5 is easier than just like number 6, but easier.
You just find the acceleration.
Let's do 5.
Let's do 5. Why don't you guys try doing? Do you guys want to try doing it on your own?
I did it.
No.
What's the answer? 2.16.
Let's do 4. 4 is probably the next most confusing one. So we'll do number 4 together, and then I'll let you guys do the last 2 on your own. Alright, number 4. Number 4. A force of 206 newtons pushes a box with an acceleration of 1.96 meters per second squared. If the coefficient of friction is 0.41, what is the mass of the box? Alright, so this is the same setup we had before. So our total force equals the force pushing it minus the force of friction. Make sense, everybody? So we're going to have MA, what's our pushing force?
206.
206 newtons minus mu mg for our force of friction. So we don't know our mass, so it's going to be m times what's our acceleration?
1.69.
0.69 meters per second squared equals 206 newtons minus what's the coefficient of friction? 0.41 times m times 9.8 meters per second squared. So again, we're going to have to combine the like terms and solve for m. I'm not going to go through it with you this time.
36.09.
And that's right. Alright, do you guys feel okay with this stuff?
Sure. Yes.
Yes.
It's my strongest section, I think.
Alright, any questions on this one?
That was a great last lesson.